Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you are doing well and you enjoy your lunch break. Actually, I'm very excited to be here, and it's an honor for two reasons, mainly. The first one is I am going to present you our new innovative solution at minus 70 degrees and below. And the second is the first official presentation of our new packaging in Asia, and we have chosen Korea for that. So thank you very much. But before going through the presentation of CryoShoe, our new duo at minus 70 degrees, I just want to give you some history around Envirotainer for those that don't know us. So, running Envirotainer, there are four pillars. The first one is the global market presence, with more than 60 sales people dedicated for your needs and your projects around 20 countries. With experience and expertise, the thanks that they have multiple relationships with pharma manufacturer, airlines, and forwarders. The second one is the worldwide logistic coverage that includes more than 50 stations globally, covering 300 airports and more than 2,000 trade lanes directly. Then comes the largest fleet in the industry. Of course, Envirotainer is the pioneer in developing active container with more than 6,800 containers around the world. And always focus on the environment. This is one of our key focus at Envirotainer, meaning that we really want to have a huge impact on the sustainability through our different containers, and recently with our CryoShoe, which is a passive solution. And the last one is the strong organizational capabilities, around more than 30 years of experience, and the fact that we have in-house production and integrated research and development. When it comes to the strong local organization in Korea, I wanted just to highlight the fact that we are a global organization with different head of sales around the region. And we have also some additional teams that will come in support of the different regions. This is my case, meaning that I'm the head of CryoShoe sales, so specialized for this new product. And I have a team with me that will support all the regions through the development of this packaging and any project that our clients can have directly. And when it comes to the local organization in Korea, you have the head of sales for APAC, and then you have different sales people like Michael Park and Misun Park, directly local sales people for Korea. And we have the support of two GCAM, one GCAM forwarder, Alex Chung, and another one GCAM Airlines, Minham Kim. They are all available on our booth, C20, after the presentation, if you want to talk to us, to them, or to me. When it comes to the operation, it's also important to highlight that we have a global organization through the different regions, so Americas, EMEA, and APAC. And when it comes to the local organization, it's supported by our own station, our own ops people, and also the sales people, as I mentioned earlier. We need to have different experts to ensure our activity and to make sure that we can support you on your different projects through the pharma industry. Coming back on the CryoShoe product and the packaging at minus 70 degrees, before going through the details, I wanted to highlight the different segments that we target with this new packaging, because it was not just a choice to develop a new packaging. We wanted also to diversify our strengths on this market and also have the opportunity to support our existing clients that use our active container with passive solution for small volume and minus 70 degrees packaging. So we have targeted those different segments that you see on the screen, and especially the cell and gene therapy. But when it comes to cell and gene therapy, we know that today for cell therapy, we cannot use packaging at minus 70 degrees, so we need to use dry shipper at minus 150. So we still need some evidence coming from the market, but also from our clients to make sure that in the future, cell therapy could be also something that we can use with packaging at minus 70 degrees. But when it comes to gene therapy, we can easily use packaging at minus 70 degrees, and it's one of our main targets here with this packaging, high-value product, specific destination, or short transit time between the pickup to the delivery. And here, the CryoSure at minus 70 degrees and below will make sense directly. And when we think about this market, that today it's around 13 billions of US dollar, and it will grow by 20% year after year till 2028. There's a huge potential behind this kind of product, and also a large need in terms of packaging at minus 70 degrees. Because, as you may know, when we started with dry ice shipment, it was minus 20 to minus 80. Then the market became more and more demanding, so we started to see minus 60 to minus 80 degrees. And today we are at minus 65 degrees to minus 80 degrees. But what next? So it's a reason why we wanted also to find the right innovative packaging for this kind of needs. And it's a reason why I want to introduce you today CryoSure. So CryoSure comes, as you can see on the screen, with the outer box, the blue box here, and then the dewar inside directly. You have some foam in between, just to make sure that we protect the dewar during the transport. Here, this part is the product space directly, where you put your product. The dotted line in blue will be the metallic barrier that will divide the product space from the dry ice space that you can see here and here. So it's a cylindric dewar, meaning that you have to imagine that the dry ice is around the product space, but never in touch with the product itself, meaning that when we close the lid here, this part will also close the product space directly, meaning that the product will never go in the dry ice space, and the dry ice will never go in the product space, meaning that you keep your product safe out of the dry ice. The lid will close the dewar, but also the product space, as I said, and the sublimation or the CO2, let's say, will go from there and there, meaning that you only have 5 millimeters to let the CO2 go away from the dewar. And it's one of the reasons why the sublimation rate of CryoSure is so low, and I will come back on it in a minute, and why we have so long duration. When it comes to the material, it's aluminum, so very robust. And in terms of materials, we also decided to choose a recyclable box for in terms of sustainability. When it comes to the key benefit features, we summarize that by 8 key benefits, but we have much more, and I will invite you to come on the booth, and I will show you this in live. But the first important one is the duration, the superior duration that we have with the dewar. Depending on the sizes, we have 4 sizes. We have from 8 to 21 days of duration without re-icing, which is very important. We did all the tests ISTA 7D summer to confirm those outcomes. When it comes to the handling, it's very easy. As you saw in the previous slide, you just need to open the outer box, to open the lid of the dewar, put the product inside, close the lid, close the outer box, and it's ready to use, meaning that you don't need to source any provider of dry ice. You don't need to learn how to manage or to handle CryoSure or the outer box. It's very simple to use. When it comes to the lighter carbon footprint, was also something very important for Envirotainer to keep this focus on the sustainability. And we wanted packaging reusable and with a weight and volume less important than what we can see on the market today. When it comes to the performance, in addition of the superior duration, you have also the fact that the orientation of the dewar will not impact the performance directly, meaning that if it goes on side or upside down, there is no impact at all on the duration, but also on the temperature itself. When we know that, for example, with dry shipper, when it's on side, we can lose until up to 40% of the duration, or 70% when it's upside down. When it comes to the resistance to the warm temperature, we also did additional tests up to 60 degrees directly to make sure that the temperature will remain the same and for the whole duration. And we have all the qualification report related to all the tests we did, meaning that it's easily visible on our website or directly if you ask one of our sales to provide the report. When it comes to maintain below 70 degrees if it's open, we also conducted additional testing to make sure that what we explained today is not just a commercial speech, but it's real data. So we have all the qualification report, and we see it in a minute, but we conducted 2 additional tests, one 24-hour open state, and one we opened the lid 25 times during 1 minute to see the outcome, and I will share it with you in 2 minutes. When it comes to the real-time visibility, we have 2 options here. First, the QR code on the outer box, meaning that you just need to scan the QR code with your smartphone, and you will have the remaining duration for the whole transport. And the second option is the live monitoring, where we can provide directly the tracker, and you will get all the follow-up during the transport through our customer portal, through different, let's say, temperature, humidity, outside temperature, and so on. So this will be visible on our customer portal, and you will, when you have the access, you will have the opportunity to download all the graph and curve related to that. And I will coming back on that in 5 minutes. And regarding the design, we already talked about it, but thanks to the material we use and the outer box and the form in between, we have a robust dewar, meaning that you can ship your high-value product or your sensitive product without any issues. I will not go through all the numbers through this slide, but it was just to show you the duration and also the dry ice that we put inside for the duration, meaning that for the X1, we have 8 days of duration for only 1.2 kilo of dry ice. For the X2, we have 21 days of duration for only 3.5 kilo of dry ice, when we have 13 days and 3.2 kilo of dry ice for X5 and 5.5 kilo of dry ice for 15 days and the X11. Those data are without re-icing. It's really important for you and as a reminder. And when you see the numbers, X1, 2, 5, and 11, this is the product space available inside the dewar directly. So this is also something that we can share with you. So I invite you to come on our booth, and we'll be happy to share it with you. And it's also something that you can find on our website directly. Regarding the quality, as I mentioned at the beginning, we did several tests to make sure that what we explained to you is not just something that we think, but it's concrete with real data. So we conducted several tests, including ISTA 7D, ISTA 3A, make sure that we can also ship UN 3373, and some other additional tests that I will share later on. I just wanted to show you here an example of our ISTA 7D report, just to show you the curve, the flat curve of each DWAR during the test that we realize. When it comes to the additional test, and especially to make sure that we can maintain at minus 70 degrees and below when we let the lid open, we decided to conduct an additional test, so named 24 hours open state. So we let the lid open during 24 hours to see what will be the impact. And as you can see on the screen, even at the top of the product space, the product remains at minus 72, 73 degrees, even if you let the lid open for 24 hours. And when it comes to the second test, is that we open it 25 times during 1 minute to see the impact. And you can also see that on the top of the product space, you have some deviation that don't go above minus 72, 73 degrees. But when it comes to the middle of the product space and the bottom of the product space, it's still below minus 70 degrees. We were talking about the sublimation rate at the beginning, and this is the illustration of what I said. The fact that we have very low sublimation rates, this is why we can have a so long duration, but also a real impact on the sustainability. So an average for the CryoSure, the sublimation rate per day is around 100 grams. When it comes to 2 to 3 kilos for the, let's say, the conventional cardboard boxes directly. So you can see the significant gap between the two solutions. When it comes to the handling, it's also, we talk about it at the beginning, it's also easy to use. So when it comes to place the order, you have directly our customer portal, meaning that you can do it directly, automatically. And you can order the DWAR, and we have a commitment to deliver the unit within 48 hours today in most of the locations globally. So it will come pre-charged in dry ice, meaning that you don't need to handling anything or to source any dry ice, as I said. It will be also easy to use because you don't need to assemble any box or anything else. You just need to open the lid, finally put your product inside, close the lid, close the outer box, and it's ready to go. Then you have the performance that will allow you to be peace of mind, let's say, and also the extensive duration and the follow-up during all the shipment that will guarantee you that the packaging remain at minus 70 degrees and below. When it comes to the return, there is two options. Either you want to use our service offer, meaning that we work with partners to deliver the unit on site and to return the unit to our CryoSure station, or you will use your own logistic providers that will manage the packaging on end-to-end process directly. And when it comes to that, just for your information, most of the logistic providers already approved our solution, meaning that if you don't want to place the order in direct and then manage the pickup with your logistic provider, you can directly ask your logistic provider to place the order of CryoSure with Envirotainer, and they will come directly with the packaging. All those things that I shared with you will allow to mitigate the risk of the logistic chain, and especially when it comes to the preparation, the customs, or the storage, meaning that the fact that you have the long duration, the fact that you don't need to think about the re-icing, and so on, will allow you to have a better visibility on your shipments and project, and make sure that there is no deviation when it comes to the product integrity directly. When it comes to the maintenance of the fleet, it was also important for us to highlight how we proceed with that. So we call it the circle of excellence, and we have a strict process in place to make sure that the units are maintained in the right way. the units are still performing during the transport and so on. So when the units come back at the station, of course, we check the unit, we clean the unit, and then we make sure that the sublimation rate is still below a certain limit that we fix with our SOPs to make sure that the performance is still there. If there is anything wrong, we remove the cryosure from the fleet. We check it again, and when it's okay, we put the unit in the fleet again. So we have a clear process on that, and we maintain all our units at our station at -70 degrees, meaning that they are always ready to use. When you place the order, we have always a unit available for transport. When it comes to live monitoring, as I said, we have our own customer portal. So when you will choose to use our live monitoring, this is the view that you will have directly on your profile and space, meaning that you will see the location of the dewar and all the information related to the dewar when it comes to the temperature inside the dewar, the temperature outside, humidity, battery level, signal, and of course, light. And all those information will be available on the customer portal. You can download the graph and all the information related to that. And in addition, we were talking about it earlier, the QR code. So the QR code will allow you to have an information on the remaining duration during the transport based on the qualification report, meaning that it's not updated in real time due to the amount of dry ice and so on. It's based on the qualification report. So when the unit is released from our station in different locations, we put the QR code on the outer box, and it will follow the qualification report directly. And you will have the remaining duration. You will have also all the information related to the pickup point and the delivery point, and all the information related to the dewar itself, the dimension and so on, and the user manual. No confidential information, because we know that if you use it for direct-to-patient, cell and gene therapy, or any clinical trials, we don't want that all the people have access to the data. So it's very specific and very, let's say, global data, nothing specific and confidential. In order to give you a better view on what I explained just before, we wanted also to share with you a case study that we had a few months ago, and especially with the trade lane from Dominican Republic to US. And this company wanted to ensure the high-value products can be delivered in the right manner and below -70 degrees directly. So before cryosure, they were facing different challenges, especially with the custom delays and the extreme temperature. So they wanted to try cryosure and develop the partnership with us. So we provided to them X11, so the bigger size, for 15 days duration. And this is the outcome, meaning that the total shipment duration was 11 days from the release from the station to the return to the station. We face outside temperature at +36 degrees, but as you can see, we have a flat curve, and the product remained at -70 degrees and below for the whole duration of the shipment. And we have all the location of the dewar during the shipment. In addition of that, you have all the information I mentioned earlier. So if you want to see more information on your graph that you will download later on, that you download here, thanks to this part, you can add all the information that you want, and you will have the graph with all the information directly. So this is cryosure, this new dewar at -70 degrees and below for your future shipments, high-value products and sensitive shipments. Thank you very much. We don't have a Q&A session right now, but what I can suggest, if you are available after your session or tomorrow and Friday, we are at the booth with all the sizes all the units, and also the live monitoring. So we'll be able to show you in a live demo directly all the information that I shared with you today. Thank you very much.